while he was leaving, while they were leaving Texas, he got wind of some of these stories that we've been even talking about, all of these ICE attacks, people that are throwing rocks at ICE vehicles and just being destructive and violent. And he's sick and tired of it, as you might expect. And so he tweeted about it. And if you could read what he said.
I'm on my way back from Texas and watched in disbelief as thugs were violently throwing rocks and bricks at ICE officers while they were moving down a roadway in their car and or office official vehicle. Tremendous damage was done to these brand new vehicles. I know for a fact that these officers are having a hard time with allowing this to happen, in that it shows such total disrespect for law and order. Therefore, I am directing Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem and Border Czar Tom Homan to instruct all ICE, Homeland Security, and any other law enforcement officer who is on the receiving end of throwing rocks, bricks, or any other form of assault to stop their car and arrest these slime balls using whatever means is necessary to do so. I'm giving total authorization for ICE to protect itself, just like they protect the public. I never want to see a car carrying a law enforcement officer attacked again. Authorization immediately granted for arrest and incarceration. Thank you for your attention to this matter. I love it. It's fantastic.
I mean, and I hope that that is a thing. Like, I'm assuming that he can do that and that they can be arrested and they will face the full arm of the law as they should.
Just get out of the car and thump them.
Right? I mean, these people. Oh my God. They could, if a rock actually breaks through a window, they could kill people. That's why it should be treated as assault. I mean, it absolutely is.
Without question.
God, I'm so sick of these.
I'm so sick of this garbage too. They are psychopaths, aren't they?
Oh my God.
Just so over it.
I'm so over it too. But I am not over talking about Angel Studios and how everybody should become a guild member.
Yes, Angel Studios is the best, you guys. I'm constantly asking. Like this weekend, we have family in. And we were talking about movies and how movies used to be so awesome back in the day, and they're not anymore. Like, where did all the good family entertainment go? Where's the entertainment that celebrates America? And it used to be that we had that like back in the 80s and 90s. There's so much garbage entertainment out there. And now you're like reaching for your remote. If you have kids in the room, you don't have to do that with stuff from Angel Studios. They have great stuff that they put out, like Sound of Hope. You guys have heard of that. It's about a small Texas community that adopted 77 foster children. Sound of Freedom. I know a lot of you guys saw Sound of Freedom. It was about child trafficking. Wonderful movie. King of Kings. That was the animated movie that was about Jesus, which is really great. And then the latest one that they have is The Last Rodeo, which is really, really good. Love that one too. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. And if you join the Angel Studios Guild and you become a premium member, you're going to get free theater tickets, ad-free streaming, and then full access to their library. They are all about conservatism. They're completely awesome. You can go to angel.com/chicks, become a premium member of the Angel Studios Guild, get all the benefits. And that's angel.com/chicks. You can actually watch movies with your family again.
That are nice and wholesome and decent for your whole family.
Totally.
All right. We need to talk about Democrats, both at state level and national level, continue to try to go to Alligator Alcatraz to bitch about the conditions there, because I guess they're expecting, since most illegals were housed in 5-star hotels in New York City, apparently they've grown accustomed to that. And so they don't feel like the conditions at Alligator Alcatraz are suitable for the illegals. Never mind the fact that any single one of those illegals could self-deport at any time.
Totally.
But
it's a great point.
They have a problem.
And not only could they self-deport, but we would give them $1,000 when they do it.
Right?
Like, you're welcome. Oh my God.
Yeah. It's just ridiculous. Debbie Wasserman Schultz, after whom I am named today, was one of the crybabies. And here she is, basically lying through her teeth, but here she is.
We saw the conditions that we saw inside this internment camp, which it is nothing less than that description. Were really appalling. I'll walk you through just a few of the really egregious, disturbing, disgusting conditions. They are using cages. These detainees are living in cages. The pictures that you've seen don't do it justice. They are essentially packed into cages, wall-to-wall humans, 32 detainees per cage.
Oh my God. It's just,
yeah. Let's just remind everybody what it
Yeah.
looked like under Biden, and she was nowhere to be found.
It looks a lot more than 32 there.
And there's no beds.
No.
They're on the ground and they're outside.
Right. There's no air conditioning. I swear. You know what it sounds like when she describes it? It sounds like a nice jail is what it sounds like.
Right.
And honestly, if you break the law, you're going to go to jail. It's like, this is what prisons are like. It sounds like a really nice, clean, air-conditioned prison. You're welcome.
I know.
Welcome.
What are they expecting for people who broke into our country?
The
for crying out loud.
The 5-star hotels that we've been putting them up in until this.
God.
This is the thing. That's what they want. They want more of that. Well, tough shit. You don't get that. That's the thing.
There was a Florida state senator who was also on the same tour, and he called her out and anybody else that was trying to complain about these conditions, saying, just finished my walkthrough of Alligator Alcatraz. Here's what I saw. The rhetoric coming from Democrats does not match the reality. The place is well run, safe, secure, clean, and air conditioned. We reviewed the intake area, medical tent, mess hall, recreation areas, and sleeping quarters. Actually laid down in one of the beds and it was really comfortable. So any complaints about squalor conditions is nothing more than bullshit and political theater.
Right. And it's all better living conditions than what a lot of veterans in our country get and what a lot of homeless kids do not get. I mean, it's like, save your theatrics for somebody who cares. It's like, we're over this crap. We're sick of paying we are paying for this. And we're actually sick of paying for these people. So, and we're offering them $1,000 to leave on their own when we've already paid for them to be here for a certain period of time. So if they don't like it, tough.
Yeah. Bye. There's a choice here. Bye. Tom Homan made the news rounds yesterday reacting to some of these complaints, and he was on with Dana Bash, and he explained to her what's what about this facility and any other ICE detention facility. Here is Tom.
I mean, bottom line is, from the day one, I've been doing this job since 1984, detainees complain about the conditions of detention. And I said this many times, you can simply go to ice.gov and look at the detention standards ICE has. They have the highest detention standards in the industry. But these same congressmen are complaining about Alligator Alcatraz. You didn't see them complaining about, under the Biden administration, people being held in a Border Patrol parking lot surrounded by a fence in the sweltering heat. Not a word. You didn't hear a word about 500,000 children being trafficked in the country and them not being able to locate 300,000.
Right.
President Trump, this administration is finding thousands of those children. So, they have a lot of anger under President Trump on how we're doing business, and they ignored 4 years of open borders, historic migrant death, historic Americans dying from fentanyl, historic numbers of women and children being sex trafficked, historic number of people on terrorist watch lists coming across the border. Silence. Because they're complicit, because they didn't take the administration on and ask them to secure the border. You can't have strong national security in this country if we don't have border security. We got to know who's coming and what's coming and where's coming. But instead, they kept silent and they kept feeding the American people, we have a secure border, and we did not.
They were complicit in 300,000 to 500,000 kids being trafficked across the border. Think of how many kids that is in a stadium.
Oh my! There isn't a stadium. Yeah, you would need multiple stadiums for that.
Exactly, you would need multiple stadiums for that. Think of all those kids that have been trafficked into this country, and they didn't give a crap. Not one single crap.
Where was AOC crying at the
I know.
Yeah,
my red lipstick
missing in action.
Right.
He is. Somebody just called Tom Homan a badass, and indeed he is. He was at the Turning Point event this past weekend speaking, and there was a heckler there who was screaming at him. I don't even know what. It doesn't matter. But he just shut that down in the best way possible. Here's just a little bit of it.
They got morons like this all over the country. This guy wouldn't like the surface nation. This guy ain't got the balls to be an ICE officer. He hasn't got the balls to be a Border Patrol agent. This guy lives in his mother's basement. The only thing that surprises me, you don't have purple hair and a nose ring. Get out of here, you loser. And you're such a badass. Meet me off stage in 13 minutes and 50 seconds. I guarantee you, he sits down to pee.
Yes. You know he sits down to pee. I saw him on
That was
another
my favorite.
on another Twitter account. There's some other dude that was like, he heckled us like a couple months ago. Like this guy that heckled him is like kind of a professional liberal
Oh my
heckler.
God.
This is what he does. And I saw him. Like he looks like what you think he'd look like without the purple hair. Like he's kind of short and squishy and pudgy. And
Yeah.
he looks like the only tool he's ever used is a joystick. You know what I mean? That kind of guy. Yeah.
That guy.
It
Yep.
tracks.
It totally tracks. And I
Uh-huh.
just love that Tom's just not going to take it. He's going to say all the things.
False.
It's just so great.